This meeting stated date, place, and time has been disseminated as required under the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, PL 1975. Copies of the agenda are also posted on the city's website and Linden TV for the public. This meeting is now called to order. Mr. Clerk, can you please conduct a prayer and flag salute?
God of the universe, look thou with favor upon these here assembled, and bestow thy guidance upon the members of the governing body in their deliberations. This we ask in thy name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In the event of an emergency, the proper method of exiting the council chambers is through the 3 doors in the rear of the room. Occupants should proceed down the staircase, out the front door, and move away from the area of the front steps. Any member of the public wishing to speak during the public comment session at the end of the meeting, please sign in on the white sheets provided in the front of the room with your name and address. Please turn off all cell phones or place them on vibrate. If you must take a call, please leave the council chambers to do so. Mr. Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Mrs. Ormond.
Here.
Javik.
Present.
Caldwell.
Present.
Mohammed.
Present.
Lott.
Present.
Delgado.
Here.
Strano.
Here.
Armstead.
Here.
Rodriguez.
Here.
Hudak.
Here.
Mrs. Yamakaitis.
Here. Okay, can we have approval of the public meeting minutes of the regular meeting of March 17, 2026, and the special meeting of March 12, 2026, please?
Yes, Council President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the meeting minutes for the regular meeting of March 17th, 2026, and the special meeting of March 12th, 2026, and request a second.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond.
Yes.
Javik.
Yes.
Caldwell.
Yes.
Mohammed.
Abstain.
Lott.
Yes.
Delgado.
Yes to March 17th, abstain March 12th.
Strano.
Yes.
Armstead.
Yes.
Rodriguez.
Yes.
Hudak.
Yes, abstain from March 12th.
Mrs. Yamakaitis.
Yes. Okay, we have several presentations this evening. We're going to start with the first one, acknowledging Kimberly Matos for her work with special needs community. I'm going to ask Mrs. Ormond and Captain Gunther to please join us down on the floor. I'm going to start with reading the resolution. Whereas the month of April has been observed every year as Autism Awareness Month since the 1970s, making it one of the longest running awareness campaigns for disability or neurological differences. And whereas the theme for 2026 Autism Awareness Month is Celebrate Differences, which challenges us to actively recognize and value their unique qualities, perspectives, and strengths that autistic individuals bring to their families, schools, workplaces, and communities. And whereas one of the Autism Awareness Month activities for families to participate in is to read books that feature neurodivergent characters, which allows neurodivergent children to see themselves reflected in a story, which tells them, you belong in this narrative, which can be life-changing. And whereas Kimberly Matos is a 911 training supervisor, State of New Jersey 911 Crisis Intervention Team Coordinator, with CIT is the acronym, and children's book author with over 25 years of frontline public safety experience in the city of Linden. And whereas Kimberly is dedicated to strengthening crisis response through education, leadership, and compassionate communication, and is widely recognized for her commitment to professional to big feelings, a children's book designed to help children express emotions while supporting families in understanding and managing those feelings together. And whereas My Big Feelings pages create a safe space for children and caregivers to express emotions that may be difficult to say out loud. Kimberly has recently been featured on Jersey Proud segment of News 12 for her book. And now, therefore, be it resolved by the Mayor and the City Council and the City of Linden, they do hereby recognize Kimberly Matos for efforts and assistance with the special needs community and for outstanding authorship of My Big Feelings. And be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be spread upon the minutes of the Council of the City of Linden and appropriately presented to Kimberly Matos. And it's signed by myself and Mayor Derek Armstead.
Good evening, everyone. As we are all aware, it is National Autism Awareness Month. But I'd like to take it a step further. It's more than just being aware that autism exists, because we all know that. We see children in our families, we see children throughout the community. It is really about autism acceptance. Taking the children and accepting them into our homes, our hearts, our families, and into society, because they are important. I often tell everyone, don't judge what you don't understand. And to remember that our children, and I have two, that I have raised for the last 20 plus years on the spectrum, they are different, but they are not less. They love, they have a sense of humor, and they have feelings. And all they want to do is to be accepted by everyone. So once again, thank you all for coming out. Thank you for coming out to honor Officer Matos, because it takes not only a special person to love and accept and to understand the children, but it takes somebody who's extraordinarily wonderful. We call people like you angels. So God bless you and thank you.
Well, we hope you'll continue writing some books for children with special needs. You know? Hope this isn't the last book, so let's keep it going. Okay? Thank you. I'd like to call. Oh. Mayor Armstead is not with us this evening. He's at a conference. So I'm going to ask Councilman Strato to please come down and join me on the floor here. We're going to recognize our City of Linden employees for 30 years of service to the City of Linden. Okay, 30 years is a long time to work in one place, and it shows the dedication and commitment of these employees. So, okay, I'd like to call them up. Councilman Strato, Councilman, would you like to say anything?
Sure. It's hard to believe that 30 years ago, I was on the council and I voted to hire these people. And the mayor's not here tonight, but he was here too. And it's surreal, but these people are people that have been a tremendous service to the city, and I couldn't have been more proud to vote for them when we hired them, and I'm even more proud of them today. Thank you.
The first employee I'm going to call up, this guy is the backbone of the city. Everything goes through his office, and I don't know how we would function here without him. Okay, Joseph Bodak. Now he's Commissioner Bodak.
Thank you, Michelle. When I started this, it was a little later than most, and I never anticipated being here 30 years, but it's been a great 30 years. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Glenn Curtin. Oh. Okay, Glenn Curtin. Kevin Brady. You here? Our Fire Chief, William Haskell.
Thank you.
Last but not least, this one I think started when she was 7 years old, possibly. Jessica Sheehy. Started down in Public Works.
Yep.
Yep. Congratulations. Okay. Our next presentation is to acknowledge National Public Safety Communicators Week. We have, yep, please stand up. We have from our dispatch, yep, come on up.
So this is a proclamation that states, whereas the National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week, observed April 12th through the 18th of 2026, serves as a distinguished opportunity to honor the invaluable contributions and unwavering dedication of these professionals who serve as a vital link between our citizens and life-saving emergency services. Whereas the National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week, we recognize that the Linden Police Department 911 Communications Center has proudly served the city of Linden for over 40 years, serving as the vital life-saving link between our residents and emergency services. And whereas National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week, we recognize that the telecommunicators of the Linden Police Department serve as the first of the first responders, meeting every call for assistance with unwavering professionalism, urgent precision, and profound compassion during our community's most critical moments of uncertainty. And whereas National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week, all Linden Police Department telecommunicators are trained in crisis intervention, enabling them to effectively recognize signs of distress, de-escalate critical situations, and provide calm, supportive guidance to individuals in need. And whereas the National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week, these dedicated professionals are responsible for dispatching police, fire, and emergency medical services, ensuring the safety of both the community and responding personnel. And now, therefore, be resolved that I, It says Derek Armstead, but I'm not Derek Armstead. Mayor of the City of Linden, on this 21st day of April of 2026, do hereby recognize National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week. In coordination with the Linden Police Department, we salute our 911 telecommunicators for several decades of extraordinary service and for acting as the vital link between our public safety agencies and the community. Be it further resolved that in observance of National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week, I, Derek Armstead, Mayor of the City of Linden, offer our deepest appreciation to those dedicated individuals. We commend their extraordinary service to those in need and celebrate their indispensable contributions to the safety, security, and well-being of our residents. And this is signed Derek Armstead, Mayor of the City of Linden. I want to just also add to this that I wasn't fully aware of how great a job these people do and how intricate and how important it was. We had the Citizens Police Academy, and we got baptized into what they do. And I have to tell you, it is incredible, and it's a difficult job. These people are trained to the nth degree, and I have to say that I really appreciate the fact that we have such a wonderful staff in that 911 communications department. Thank you.
Picture. I just want to say thank you for all you do. It's not an easy job. Not everyone can do that. Okay? This over. Okay, we're now going to move on to ordinances on hearing for this evening. We're going to start with Ordinance 7020.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 7, Traffic, of an ordinance entitled, An Ordinance Adopting and Enacting the Revised General Ordinances of the City of Linden, 1999, passed November 23rd, 1999, and approved November 24th, 1999, and as amended and supplemented. Be it ordained by the Council of the City of Linden, Section 1, that Chapter 7, Traffic shall be, and the same is hereby amended as follows. Chapter 7, 7-15, parking by permit only in designated residential areas, 7-15.7, residential overnight parking permit, 7-15.7.c, North Park Avenue area. Definition and word uses. North Park Avenue, add Garfield Street from East St. George's Avenue to East Elizabeth Avenue.
Okay, has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, ma'am.
Has any written communication been received?
No, ma'am.
Is there anyone from the public who wishes to be heard on this ordinance? Okay, seeing none, can we have a motion, please?
Council President, I make a motion that we close the hearing on ordinance 70-20. Approve it and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Lot?
Yes.
Delgado?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yamakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 7021, please.
Bond ordinance providing an appropriation of $3,524,400 for acquisition of various capital items for the police department and authorizing the issuance of $3,348,180 in bonds or notes of the city for financing part of the appropriation.
Has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, ma'am.
Has any written communication been received?
No, ma'am.
Is there anyone from the public who wishes to be heard on this ordinance? Seeing none, can we have a motion, please?
Council President, I move we close the hearing on ordinance 70-21. Approve it and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Lot?
Yes.
Delgado?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 7022, please.
Bond ordinance providing appropriation of $220,000 for acquisition of various items of capital equipment for the Division of Public Works and authorizing the issuance of $209,000 in bonds or notes of the city for financing part of the appropriation.
Okay, has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, ma'am.
Has any written communication been received?
No, ma'am.
Is there anyone from the public who wishes to be heard on this ordinance? Seeing none, can we have a motion, please?
Council President, I'd like to move ordinance 7022's hearing to be closed and the ordinance adopted and request a second.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Lot?
Yes.
Delgado?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 7023, please.
Bond ordinance providing an appropriation of $295,000 for various improvements for the Department of Parks and Recreation and authorizing the issuance of $209,000 in bonds or notes of the city for financing part of the appropriation.
Okay, has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, ma'am.
Has any written communication been received?
No, ma'am.
Is there anyone from the public that wishes to be heard on this ordinance? Seeing none, can we have a motion, please?
Yes, Council President, I'd like to make a motion to close the public hearing on 7023 and ask for a second.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Lot?
Yes.
Delgado?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Okay, ordinance 7024, please.
Bond ordinance providing an appropriation of $407,000 for landfill ACO compliance and authorizing the issuance of $386,650 bonds or notes of the city for financing part of the appropriation.
Okay, has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, ma'am.
Has any written communication been received?
No, ma'am.
Is there anyone from the public who wishes to be heard on this ordinance? Okay. Seeing none, can we have a motion, please?
Council President, I'd like to move that the hearing on ordinance number 70-24 be closed, the ordinance adopted, and request a second.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Lot?
Yes.
Delgado?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 7025, please.
Bond ordinance providing an appropriation of $550,000 for storm and sanitary sewer improvements and authorizing the issuance of $522,500 bonds or notes of the city for financing part of the appropriation.
Okay, has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, ma'am.
Has any written communication been received?
No, ma'am.
Is there anyone from the public who wishes to be heard on this ordinance? Please, yes, please.
Good evening, Carlos Rivas, 1415 Haas Street in Linden, New Jersey. So reading the ordinance providing appropriation of $550,000 for storm and sanitary sewer improvements, I would like to say that I'm not against it. As a matter of fact, this is something that our city needed it through all these new development and the sewers, the situation that our city currently has. But one of the questions that I have is, what are going to be the improvements? One of the things that this ordinance, every time I come into City Hall and gets to an agenda, it just seems to be showing us the title, but the people of the city needs to know details. I mean, we have learned throughout many complaints of citizens how the sewer situation in our city is becoming a problem. It's becoming a really problem. So I'm not against spending money of the city, but the financial aspect of our city, I can continue to say, it was in the month of January almost $90 million, and throughout all these bondings, ordinances that we're passing through in these last 4 months, I'm pretty sure that we have gone over the $100 million, and I'm pretty sure that we're ready to go to a budget presentation next month where everything is going to be look perfect for many of us. But what we do not know is that we're probably seeing at the tip of the iceberg, and we're not seeing what really is under the water. I really wanted to know what are the improvements that we are planning to do with $500,000 for a city of 55,000 citizens in the city of Linden. If anybody can ask, I know that possibly no one from the council will answer, but our city attorney can do it. So,
That, Mr. Pantina? Mr. Pantina? On the sewer improvements?
Okay, sorry. I can look into it and get back to you in the morning. I have tons of resources in front of me, but I'm not seeing the exact details for that. I do have some things here. We have a sanitary sewer study going on in 9th Ward. We have a storm sewer study going on Harrison Place, DeWitt, Myrtle, Elmwood, Rosewood. We have the trunk stores. Can you hear me? I have a Linden Moselle trunk store study along the Peach Orchard Brook, and we also have brook improvements planned for Westbrook and Peach Orchard. And those draft reports were done last year, and they've been reviewed in-house. So, $550,000 seems like a lot of money, but when it comes to storm and sanitary, I think that's just a chip. Right.
Thank you, Mr. Pantina.
Council President?
Yes.
Just, if I could just weigh in for a moment. So the capital ordinance just really sets up the funding mechanism. At some point when the city moves forward to make an improvement, there'll be a separate contract award to the contractor for whatever those improvements are. So with just about every one of these capital ordinances this evening, it's really just setting up the funding mechanism. At some later point in time, there will be before council a resolution or a recommendation to award a contract, whether it be a park improvement, a sewer improvement, or any other action. And I will also say that for the record that, this council, you're all aware that I'm also the Township Attorney in Union. My firm represents a lot of municipalities throughout the state. We are permitted by law to read ordinances by title, and that's what we do here. Once a first reading is adopted, that ordinance gets posted outside the clerk's office in full. It gets properly published. So we are complying with the law when we read an ordinance by title.
Yep. Thank you, Mr. Antonelli. Is there anyone else from the public who wishes to be heard on this ordinance? Okay, seeing none, can we have a motion on ordinance 7025, please?
Yes, Council President, I'd like to move that the hearing on ordinance 7025 be closed. The ordinance adopted. Request a second.
Second. Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Lot?
Yes.
Delgado?
He just had to take a break for a few minutes.
Strano?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 7026, please.
Bond ordinance providing an appropriation of $275,000 for safety material upgrades for various parks for the Department of Parks and Recreation and authorizing the issuance of $261,250 bonds or notes of the city for financing part of the appropriation.
Okay, has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, ma'am.
Has any written communication been received?
No, ma'am.
Is there anyone from the public who wishes to be heard on this ordinance? Okay.
again, Carlos Rivas, House Street, Linden, New Jersey. I continue to say that I like to recognize the value of investment in our parks and recreational spaces. They are important assets for our community, and the improvements that they can do, they will benefit many families of our city. But I continue to say, and I continue to try to understand, how does the citizens that they're being asked to ask questions about ordinance in the first reading by law with a title will know exactly what the ordinance will say? We will have to do some research, and the fact of the matter is that when we get to those research, sometimes we get to learn late in the game what our council has already approved, and we, the citizens, we get to pay the dues. It seems like month after month, we're getting bonds for our recreational department. And again, I'm not against the improvement to a park. I'm not against to provide better quality of life to our citizens. What I am against is to the not financial responsibility of our public officials in order to know how can they keep putting our city on debt. We keep putting our city on debt. As I mentioned in the last 4 meetings, we have approved almost $15 million in debt, which almost balances about 10% of our budget. 10% of our budget. However, the appropriation of $275,000 for safety materials upgrades, so I tend to understand, based on the information given by our city attorney, that these titles or these ordinances that are presented today are just the beginning of something that is going to be presented to the council for contracts and for bigger expenses. So if this is just the tip of the ice that we're seeing, what do we expect next? Our Department of Recreation has already been approved, almost $5 million. $5 million for parks upgrades throughout the city. $5 million that the citizens of Linden will have to pay in the future. $100 million that we're in debt. People that we continue to get on expenses that not are going to be paid this year. They're going to be paid probably next year, in the 10 years, in the 15 years, our children will have to pay. So I would like to know specifically what type of safety materials are going to be with this ordinance.
Mr. Pressy, please come forward.
Good evening, everyone. Keith Pressy, Director of Parks and Recreation. With regard to your question, the safety material, it serves to increase the quality of life for those who are using the playground equipment to ensure their safety. These areas that we want to address have what we call chips, whether they're wooden chips or rubber chips, and they've been to the point they need to be replenished because of the amount of play that they get. Sometimes, they scatter or they get lower than what what is recommended it should have to provide a safe space for our children. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Pressy. Is there anyone else from the public who wishes to be heard on Ordinance 7026? Please come forward.
West Price Street. Well, I'm a little confused because you just got approved for $295,000 for various improvements to the Department of Parks and Recreations. Now you're asking for another $275,000 for safety materials. Why doesn't the equipment already come with safety materials? And as for the rubber chips, you call them, they're made out of tires. It's toxic. They don't use them in playgrounds anymore. They have different material. Union County Parks have been using it in other townships. Should look into that.
Okay. Is there anyone else from the public that wishes to be heard on Ordinance 7026? Seeing none, can we have a motion, please?
As council president, I'd like to make a motion to close the public hearing on 7026 and ask for a second.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Lot?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 7027, please.
Bond ordinance providing an appropriation of $334,400 for acquisition of various items of capital equipment for the Division of Transportation and Properties and authorizing the issuance of $317,680 bonds or notes of the city for financing part of the appropriation.
Okay, has the ordinance been properly published and posted?
Yes, ma'am.
Has any written communication been received?
No, ma'am.
Is there anyone from the public who wishes to be heard on this ordinance? Okay, seeing none, can we have a motion, please?
Council President, I move that the hearing for ordinance number 70-27 be closed, the ordinance adopted, and I request a second.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Lot?
Yes.
Delgado? Strano?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Okay, we'll now move on to, please turn off all cell phones. Consent agenda. All items listed with asterisks are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted with one motion. There will be no separate discussion on these items unless a council member so requests. We have items number 1 through 8 this evening. Okay, can we have a motion, please?
Council President, I move for the approval of consent items 1 through 8, and I request a second.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Lot?
Yes.
Delgado?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Okay, we're now moving on to the governing body reports. I'm going to start with Councilwoman Ormond.
Thank you, Council President. I'm going to start off with our budget report. I would like to take this time to introduce the 2026 City of Linden's municipal budget. The budget represents a total of $144,153,553.31 in expenditures for the year 2026. The Finance Committee, along with Mayor Armstead, has worked with every department head in the city, keeping expenditures down to a minimum. Based on the average assessed home value of $134,172, this decrease is $1.24 for the year, or 10 cents a month. This includes an annual state mandated increase of $21.81 for the library portion of the tax rate. Please be advised that anyone interested in obtaining a copy of the 2026 municipal budget, copies will be available in the city clerk's office from 9 o'clock in the morning until 5 o'clock p.m., Monday through Friday. If you're unable to pick up a copy, you may contact the city clerk's office at 908-474-8452, and a copy will be sent to you. It's also available on the city's website, www.linden-newjersey.gov. for reviewing, and it's at the Linden Municipal Library as well.
Municipal budget of the City of Linden, County of Union for the fiscal year 2026. Be it resolved that the following statements of revenues and appropriations shall constitute the municipal budget for the year 2026. Be it further resolved that said budget be published on the official website of the city, https://linden-nj.gov/notices on April 30th, 2026. Also, if applicable, it will be advertised in the following online publication of the Union County Local Source on April 30th, 2026. The governing body of the City of Linden does hereby approve the following as the budget for the year 2026. Notice is hereby given that the budget and tax resolution was approved by the council members of the City of Linden, County of Union on April 21st, 2026. A hearing on the budget and tax resolution will be held at City Hall on May 19th, 2026 at 7 p.m., at which time and place objections to said budget and tax resolution for the year 2026 may be presented by taxpayers or other interested parties. Summary of current fund section of approved budget. Appropriation within caps A, municipal purposes, $112,996,424.70. Municipal purposes, appropriations excluded from caps for municipal purposes, $27,482,128.61. Total general appropriations excluded from caps, $27,482,128.61. Reserve for uncollected taxes, 98.27% of tax collections, $3,575,000. Total general appropriations, $53,553.31, less anticipated revenues from other than current property taxes, $68,462,967.83. Local tax for municipal purposes, including reserve for uncollected taxes, $71,831,819.26. Minimum library tax, $3,758,765.86.
All right. Can we have a motion for introduction of the 2026 budget, please?
Council President, I move for approval of our 2026 City of Linden municipal budget and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell? Mohammed?
Yes.
Lot?
Yes.
Delgado?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Okay, continue with your report, Councilman.
Thank you, Council President. Approval is requested for the following finance actions. The payment of bills totaling $2,013,534.35. Bills have been signed by the mayor, council president, and finance chairwoman, and a detailed check register and vouchers are on file in the city clerk's office. We are in receipt of the investments made by the City of Linden for the month of March at the rate of 3.50%. I move for approval and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell? Mohammed?
Yes.
Lot?
Yes.
Delgado?
Yes.
Strano?
Abstain.
Armstead?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes.
I hereby submit the monthly financial report from the Division of Transportation and Parking for the month of March 2026. This report includes the collection of on- and off-street parking meters, railroad parking lots, railroad parking permits, and merchant parking permits. Trenton side collections, $1,385. New York side collections, $752. Railroad credit card transactions, $30,147.28. Railroad permits, $4,093. Railroad mobile payment parking, $12,072. Online railroad permits, $16,285. Parking meter collections, $9,012.50. Merchant permit 0. Grand total, $73,746.78, submitted by the parking meter collections, Frank E. Urban III. Okay, now for just a very quick ward report. I just would like to let the residents of the First Ward know that we are addressing some of the safety concerns in some of the sections in our city, making sure that we have better signage in our areas, including stop signs, slow down, children at play, and just a few other enhanced safety measures, such as making sure all the crosswalks are going to be properly marked. Some areas we're asking to have slow or stop ahead, where we feel as though you may not be able to see a sign. We're going to also look into see what trees are impairing the visibility of our stop signs. So just keep in mind, it's a process. Please let me know if you're concerned about your area. I personally go out and take a look, and then we report to the authorities that are in charge that can make a difference. Would like to also let everyone know that we're getting ready to embark on one of my favorite things, the yard sales. June 26th is going to be our first and third ward community yard sale, with the rain date being June 27th, and we have one planned for August 28th, with the rain date August 29th. Typically, I have a lot of things that I would like to talk about, but I always seem to get sidetracked when I hear things that kind of disturb me. So I'm just going to ask a general question. How many of us own houses? And how many of us own cars? How many of us took $450,000 out of our pockets and paid for our house straight out? Nothing. We didn't. We borrowed. We called it a mortgage. We have cars that are valued $40,000, $50,000. How many of us paid for our cars? We have car payments. Our household budgets are nothing but a smaller version of what the city does on a large basis. Do you know as you pay your mortgage off and your car note off, you create a strong credit profile, which means that you can pretty much go to almost any bank and say, hey, loan me, loan me. Well, that's what this city has done over the past few decades. We have established such a good credit rating by borrowing, paying back, that our bond rating is phenomenal. Like I said, nobody buys a house and pulls it out of their pocket. We have mortgages. So let's not be fooled by, oh, the city is constantly borrowing. We put that money aside and that money gains interest. We don't borrow the money just to step back and say, let's just put it in our bank. It gains interest. And if you have any questions on bonds, on how we're bonded and why we do what we do, our municipal treasurer, Alexis Zach, is the only expert when it comes to, because she's been doing this for 30 years. So I invite anybody to speak with her if they really want to know the real deal, why we borrow and how the city runs and balances its budget. So this year, once again, we are not burdening the taxpayers with a municipal tax increase. We look at where we're spending money and we say, you know what, we don't need to spend that, let's cut it. We managed to keep all of our staff, we managed to keep our services, but we managed to get rid of all of the spending that we did not need to do to ensure that we keep our city affordable. And yes, we're going to always borrow, because when we borrow, like I said, it strengthens our bond rating. Just like when you buy a house, when you pay that house off, man, you can walk anywhere and they're going to say, wow, you just paid off something for $400,000. I'm going to give you some more because you got good credit. And that's what this city does. Last but not least, it's with deep concern, and I beg your indulgence, Council President, if I'm going over. Last month, we had several of our council people that were out sick. It really bothered me because I knew that it was because of illness, not just because we just walk away from what we do. We signed up for this. We know that there's going to be times when a person calls us on a Saturday night at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night because their neighbor's making a lot of noise. We know that these things are going to happen. We sign up for it. And we juggle this with our families, our husbands, our full-time jobs. And we don't complain because this is what we signed up for. People say, I'm sorry to bother you. I go, I bothered you first when I knocked on your door and said, please vote for me. I'm going to support you. We are public servants. So we do this because this is what we want to do. We don't like being, I guess, beat down when we're not here. We have families. We have elderly mothers. I came into a meeting, got a phone call, and in 10 seconds I walked out because my 91-year-old mother fell. I dare anybody to tell me I missed a meeting. My 91-year-old mother fell. I ran to her aid. We have surgeries, we get sick, our children get sick, we have deaths in our family. We miss meetings because we are human. So if anybody wants to question why we do this because we love the public, but let's not forget how much we still love our families too. And sometimes that family, sometimes our pets, sometimes our children, sometimes our job mandates that we turn our backs for 2 seconds to something that we volunteered, to something that we signed up for. And once again, I'm going to say we signed up for this, and we love doing what we do. We are not just council people. We are your public servants. And I don't think any one of us on this dais ever loses track or focus of who we are and what we are to this Linden community. Council President, that ends my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Orman. Councilman Javik.
Thank you, Council President. As chairman of the Fire Committee, the Fire Prevention Bureau collected the following monies during the month of March 2026. a total of $17,124.46. Regarding our Linden Fire Department Emergency Medical Service collections, the amount of $98,188.54 for March 2026 have been added to the total deposits for 2026, totaling $294,582.30. As a reminder, the Linden Fire Department 2026 Junior Fire Academy will be coming up in June, available for Linden students graduating 7th and 8th grades. Applications are available at Linden Fire Headquarters, 302 Southwood Avenue, Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., or via our City of Linden website. Participation is June 23rd to June 26th from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Also, Light the Night for Fallen Firefighters. From April 26th to May 3rd, 2026, join the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation in honoring America's fallen fire heroes by lighting up red. Landmarks, fire departments, businesses, organizations, and families are invited to take part in this nationwide tribute leading up to the National Fallen Firefighters Memorial Weekend. Light up, shine red in all 50 states to show we honor and remember the fallen. Sign up and find more ways to get involved in the 2026 National Fallen Firefighters Memorial Weekend at weekend.firehero.org. Now, regarding our construction code department, this department has issued 120 permits and processed 117 certificates and has issued 128 summonses for the month of March 2026. Monthly revenue is as follows. Building CCO permits and additional permit fees, $628,767. Zoning, $1,725. Court settlements for the month, $15,500. The reflective total being $645,992. At this time, I would like to make a motion for a street light. I move for approval for the installation of a street light on pole 63482 LD. This is in front of 715 Lincoln Street between Dill Avenue and Passaic Avenue, and I seek a second.
Second.
Mr. Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Lot?
Yes.
Delgado?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Armstead? Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Continue, Councilman.
Referencing our Board of Health information. The Board of Health will be holding their annual free rabies vaccination clinic for dogs and cats on Saturday, May 2nd, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Firehouse Number 2, 302 West St. George Avenue. Also Wednesday, May 13th, 4 to 8 p.m. at Firehouse Number 3, 1205 East Elizabeth Avenue. And Monday, May 18th, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Firehouse Number 1, 302 Southwood Avenue. These clinics are open to all New Jersey residents. For everyone's safety, all dogs must be leashed and all cats must be in carriers. The city clerk's office will also have staff available at the clinics to provide licensing services for new and renewal annual dog licenses, which are required for all dogs over the age of 6 months that are kept within the city of Linden. For more information on the rabies clinics, please call the Board of Health at 908-474-8409. For more information on dog licenses, please call the city clerk's office at 908-474-8452. Also, please note, Mental Health Month. Mental health includes emotional, psychological, and social well-being and is essential to the overall health and quality of life. A mental health condition can affect a person's thoughts, feelings, behaviors, or moods. There are over 200 classified forms of treatable medical illnesses, ranging from mild to life-threatening. Common misconceptions are that they occur because of an inner weakness or character flaw, or they signify that you are of low intelligence. We're prone to violence. Such misconceptions create stigma, which can lead to shame, isolation, and reluctance to recognize these conditions and seek treatment. In reality, mental health conditions are caused by a variety of factors, including brain chemistry imbalances, environmental stressors, and genetic predispositions. Mental health conditions are common in the United States, with 23% of adults and 15% of adolescents experience a diagnosable condition each year. Each condition has its own symptoms, but common signs can include excessive worrying for fear, excessive sadness, confused thinking, or problems concentrating, extreme mood swings, changes in sleeping and eating habits, changes in work or school performance, loss of interest in friends and social activities, and inability to carry out daily activities or handle daily problems and stress. For help, contact your primary care provider or call the New Jersey Division of Mental Health at 1-800-382-6717 if experiencing a mental health crisis or having suicidal thoughts. Call or text 988 to reach the 988 Lifeline 24/7, 365 days a week for free and confidential support in over 240 languages from skilled and judgment-free counselors. Good evening, everyone. So here's the bottom line. We have a lot of illegal rentals, and they're out of control in Linden. So we all pay the price of this in our neighborhoods, from you not being able to park close to your house to properties deteriorating. So what can we do about this? We now have a mandatory rental registration available on our City of Linden website. Also, contact our Board of Health anonymously if you see something. We will do an investigation. It's really not right. You have overstacking of homes taking place and the owners just don't care because it's all about the money. If you can get $3,500 instead of $2,000, allowing tenants to use basements as sleeping quarters or sublet rentals, they're doing it. We have had several fires and situations of neglect. So I'd like to ask our councilmen and women, in addition to the public, if you see something, say something. We will send out inspectors. In addition, I ask that our fines associated with this be raised as high as we can to protect our public. And in addition, we also, please remember, if you're taking down a tree on your property, permits are now required. Also, starting June 1st, in my ward, and several of the other wards, we're going to have paving. We'll start on West Elizabeth Avenue, going east from Stiles Street, and this is good news to all. Just want to finish up. A little bit more time.
A little bit more. You already had.
I can be reached at 908-494-4608 or email me at bjavick@linden-newjersey.gov. On Facebook, 7-word Councilman Barry E. Javick. And as always, additional information can be found on our City of Linden website. Council President, and the report.
Thank you, Councilman. All right. Councilwoman Caldwell.
Thank you, Madam President. Hello, Third Ward. I want to begin by apologizing for canceling our last community meeting due to a personal stay at the hospital myself. I truly appreciate you understanding, and I'm happy to share the meeting has been rescheduled to September 22nd at 6 p.m. at the Linden Public Library, the 3rd floor, the Columbia Room. I waited till September because I know everybody's busy during the summertime. I look forward to seeing you there and continuing our conversations about how we can strengthen our community together. You beat me to it, Councilman Javitt. Starting June 1st, they will be paving Elizabeth Avenue. So many of my constituents live on Elizabeth Ave. There's been potholes. It's been horrible. I apologize, and I thank you so much for your patience. I know the traffic has been extremely challenging, and like I said, thank you. Thank you for your patience. And we will have improved roads by the summertime, hopefully. We are also addressing ongoing concerns about overnight noise. There's someone else on Elizabeth Ave that keeps on hearing a garbage truck pick up garbage like 3 o'clock in the morning. So our city attorney is currently working on a noise ordinance to prevent garbage pickup. in the early morning hours because that is impacting my constituents' quality of lives, and we can't have that. As the weather warms up and spring is full in swing, I ask everyone to please maintain your properties and cut your grass, as is just importantly, please slow down while driving on the side streets. Our children, our families, and neighbors deserve to feel safe. I also want to acknowledge many of us are feeling. These are difficult and uncertain times. It can feel like, it feels like we're living in the divided states of America. Where many people are struggling with the cost of living, which continues to rise. Through it all, we all need to remain grounded in compassion, unity, and resilience. I want you to all mark on your calendars the upcoming Third Ward Community Garage Sale. June 26th is the garage sale, and the rain date is June 27th. August 28th is the garage sale, and the rain date is August 29th. September 26th is the garage sale, and the rain date is September 27th. So please mark that on your calendar. I'm also looking for block captains, volunteers in the Third Ward. This is a great opportunity to stay connected and help keep our neighborhood informed and engaged, because I can't see everything, but it would be nice to have block captains on the different blocks so that we can engage our community, watch what's going on in the community, neighborhood watch, whatever you need. I might not be able to see it, but you would be able to point it out to me, and I would appreciate it. Please reach out to me at 908-531-0676, and my email is mcaldwell@linden-nj.gov. I would love to speak to you. Lastly, I want to congratulate Kimberly Matos on her book, My Big Feelings. I graduated high school, well, Kim graduated before me, but I went to school with Kim, and I'm so proud of her. She is an incredible asset to our community, supporting individuals and families every day, especially in our own special needs community. We are proud of you, and we are grateful for your work. Remember, a strong community isn't built on perfection. It is built on people who show up, care deeply, and stand together even in uncertain times. Thank you. I look forward to continuing this journey with all of you. And remember, Councilwoman Caldwell always follows up and follows through. That concludes my report, Council President. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Muhammad.
The councilman doesn't have a ward report at this time.
Okay, thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Lott.
Good evening, everyone. How are you? Good evening, Council President, fellow council members, and members of the Linden community. I am pleased to provide my April council report for the 5th Ward. Over the past month, I remained actively engaged in the work that matters most to the residents. When I ran for council, there were some pillars that I ran my campaign on. One was empowering families and children. One was supporting our seniors. Another was ensuring accessibility and transparency. These pillars continue to guide my efforts and shape the initiatives I'll bring forward, and I'm happy to provide a brief update. When it comes to empowering families and children, I would first like to thank the council in advance for the support of Resolution 2026-198. This resolution calls for the full and expanded funding of the New Jersey Child Care Assistance Program, which is essential to helping working families access affordable child care. As outlined in the resolution, limitations placed on the program have made it more difficult for families to qualify and have increased financial burdens through their copays. So to give you some better context, as a working parent myself, I have 3 young children, ages 9, 8, and 6. I sympathize with this challenge firsthand. If I needed to get aftercare childcare for my children, it would cost me approximately $900 to $1,500 per month. When you combine that with the rising cost of living, including mortgage and rent payments, gas and groceries, it becomes clear that many of our working families are feeling a significant strain. In Linden alone, child care assistance supports families across multiple providers. That's child care facilities as well as in-home providers as well. Yet many eligible families are still unable to access these resources due to funding constraints. Additionally, families in New Jersey often spend 10 to 15% of their income on childcare, well above the federally recommended 7%, with some families paying even more than that. By supporting this resolution, the council is advocating for policies that strengthen economic stability, support working parents, and ensure that children have access to safe, reliable care. So thank you. And during the public comment, I welcome up our community members who are going to discuss what this resolution or the support this resolution means to them. So thank you for coming, guys. All right. When it comes to supporting our seniors, I had the opportunity this weekend to attend an impactful event at First Baptist Church, in collaboration with the Union County Surrogate's Office. During this session, Mr. Hudak provided valuable information on estate planning, guardianship, and the role of the Surrogate's Court. It was powerful and a necessary conversation, one that reminded me of the importance of planning for our future. Now, on a personal note, I brought my grandmother's house. And I'm gonna tell you right now, there's still some closets and some crawl spaces I haven't quite cleaned out yet, because it's just too much for me. It's too overwhelming. Thankfully, my grandmother had her affairs in order better than the closets upstairs. So it didn't bring that stress to my family when it came to us planning when she did pass away. This program highlighted the importance of getting these affairs in orders, about having your insurance policies all in one spot, talking to your parents about your family about what to do when you do pass away, things like that. So I thought it was just important, and I really have already connected with Mr. Hudak to try to bring that back to our senior citizens and their families so they could hear about this and how to do to prepare for what's going to eventually happen. I would also like to take the moment to right now thank the 8th Ward Councilwoman Armstead, as well as the School 4 PTO, the school administration, and the entire school community for partnering with me to host the first annual Easter egg hunt with School Number 4. This was a wonderful event that brought just so much joy to our children. Together, we distributed over 2,000 eggs, including special golden eggs for students who won a lucky basket. It was truly a beautiful example of what it means, what can be accomplished when the community comes together. Finally, when it comes to accessibility and transparency, I am excited to share that we'll be having our 5th Ward community meeting next Wednesday, April 29th at 6 p.m. at the Ann J. Ferguson Towers located at 1601 Dill Avenue. I encourage all residents to attend, share your concerns, ask questions, and help continue to build a stronger, more connected ward. Lastly, before I close, I would like to take a brief moment to speak about grace. Recently, a community member raised a concern regarding council members calling into meetings. Council President, I want to thank you so much for allowing me to call into the meeting last month, as I had gotten surgery on March 16th, and on March 17th, I was home recovering. That flexibility in allowing me to call in allowed for me to still continue to serve while also prioritizing my health, so thank you again. I share this because we never truly know what someone else is navigating and what they're going through. Imagine a community where we extend grace to one another, where we treat people how we want to be treated, where we lead by understanding and with love and empathy and care. That's the kind of community I want to be a part of. That's the Linden I want to help build. People who just understand, who just know that, listen, we understand. I want to do that. I want to build a better community in that way. I want us to build each other up. So thank you for that, for being a part of that journey with me. I want to close with this. Community is not just about being together. It's about working together to create something greater than ourselves. As a reminder, I can be reached at 908-718-7987 or via email at kayla.law@linden-nj.gov. Respectfully submitted. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Lott. Okay, Councilman Delgado.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, 6th Ward. So I want to begin with addressing an incident that occurred last week. I really believe that the purpose of life, of living, is to be in community with one another. Think about it. If you only had a few hours to live, you would want to be with the people you love and care about the most, whether they be friend or family. So when incidents of violence occur in our community, it shakes us to a core. It is the opposite of what we're meant to be in community with one another. So what occurred at Wheeler Park was horrifying. My heart breaks for the victim and for all the witnesses that were there to see the horrific scene. I want to thank our Linden Police Department because they responded first. This is still an active investigation. Union County is leading the investigation because it occurred on county property. And I do believe that our law enforcement professionals will find those responsible, whether it be one individual or multiple individuals, because our collective safety is our number one priority, because without safety, without health, nothing else exists, nothing else matters. Now on to quality of life. In the 6th Ward, we had 2 illegal businesses that kind of popped up around November of last year, December. Working with our construction code department, we were able to find them, do the court thing, and I'm happy to report, or was happy to learn, that one of the illegal businesses that was trying to illegally expand, was trying to illegally expand their operations by going to the zoning board, even though they never got approval to do what they were doing already from jump, essentially. They've given up because our construction code enforcement went up and they shut them down. So that was very, very good news. That was on West Simpson and by Mitchell. It was an illegal car repair shop. Similar, another car repair shop that does not have zoning approval shut down for a little bit after we got our inspectors in there, got enforcement in there. I thought they were gone for good too. Unfortunately, they have started up operations again. So we have been sending all the evidence to construction code. Construction code's been working on the court case for this. And I believe, and what will occur is that we will shut them down in due time, because these illegal businesses, what happens is we have a very quiet street there on Liberty, and then you have illegal car repair shops at all hours of the night with lights, with noise, disturbing the quality of life for everyone. So we're going to keep working on all these issues because it's very, very important. Thank you. On the 1 and 9, the state of New Jersey did draw the do not block the boxes on the Woodlawn intersection and the Clinton intersection. No, I do not think that this is going to permanently fix the issue. I wish it were that easy. But we should have had this a long time ago. It took a lot of work to get the state to respond. We are still waiting for them, or I'm still waiting for confirmation that they adjusted the lights. Because one of the big issues is that when the trucks are in the left lane trying to turn onto Southwood Avenue, that light isn't long enough to clear out that traffic. So I'm waiting for confirmation that they adjusted the lights so that we could clear out those trucks so that they're not on our residential roads. There are a lot of trucks that come onto our residential roads. They cause a nuisance. They make the houses shake. Sometimes they break the wires. Just before council, I got a phone call from a resident telling me, a 90-year-old resident who called in and said, my Xfinity's gone. And they're not coming till tomorrow because some truck pulled down the wire. It's not right. And I'll continue working with everyone and anyone in order to fix this. I know I've submitted ideas. I'm working with the traffic committee on that issue, and I'm going to continue working with our Linden Police Department to make sure that we get some relief there. A big thank you to our Transportation and Properties and DPW employees. On Pennsylvania Railroad Avenue, they cleaned up a whole section that had so much litter and garbage. There was graffiti on the walls. They painted it, and they just made it look like much better and improved the quality of life on that road because we have residents there. So a big thank you to them. They trimmed the trees. They got the trash. They removed outdated fencing that was like half broken. So it looks so much better over there. Thank you very much. I really do believe that it is incumbent upon all of us to keep our city, to keep our ward clean. So let's make sure not to litter. I'm going to look into doing some cleanup days along the ward too, because I think that's very important to get us together to do that, because it's our collective responsibility. I have residents on Kennedy, for example, who've called me and said, you know, there's litter that just blows onto my property every single day. And no, there's no, I'll put up a sign, sure, but is that going to fix the issue? No. We have to fix the issue collectively. We have to educate each other, educate the youth that let's not litter. Let's take care. Let's take pride in our environment. Let's take pride in our city. Let's keep our city clean. Let's keep our ward clean. On Kennedy Drive, the big do not enter sign was replaced. And the residents there are very grateful because that sign actually did work in preventing people from making the illegal right from Stiles into it and going the wrong on the one-way street there. So it's there. It kind of disappeared during the snowstorm. I'm glad we were able to get it up and running again. Not running, it's a sign. PC&G has repaired 8 lights that were malfunctioning throughout the ward. There are more tickets going in, and right now at night I'm going to be focusing in on those that are working. They're functional lights, but they're very dim, and trying to get those replaced because that's also a part of enhancing safety. Okay. One big issue that we have been dealing with in Linden has been the issue of dogs being roaming on the loose and the worst instances, attacking other dogs and residents. So, because of the incident that occurred last month, one of my residents, he was injured because 2 dogs got out, and then his dog, my other resident who's also here, her dog, was fatally killed during that attack. During this incident, I learned a lot. I did a lot of research about, there is a state law that governs potentially what's called a potentially dangerous dog or a vicious dog. So when residents ask, why does it have to wait until something horrific happens for the city, for the state to be able to take action? It's because the law is very specific. A dog is only considered vicious when the injuries are so great in a human being that you're disfigured, you lose a limb, an organ, something to an extreme. Killing another animal, unfortunately, alone does not mean that the dog is vicious. Council President, may I have a little bit more time? Thank you. Does not mean that the dog is vicious. It means it's potentially dangerous. This law was passed in 1989. I'm 37 years old. I was 88, so 36 years old, and has had minimal updates. So because of that law, it limits us on what we're able to do. But in the areas that we were able to increase fines, increase a missing component, that's exactly what we did. For example, dogs continuously getting out of their yards. Under the new ordinance that we're proposing, that's going to be on introduction here, we are going to be empowering our animal control officer or their designee to be able to do inspections the first time it happens of the property to see what's going on. Why is that dog getting out? The fines, we're upping them to $2,000. We're asking that the court look at prior history to consider how many dogs were involved, to consider what was the circumstances involved. No. Is this going to fix the issue? No, it's not. Ultimately, the law in the state of New Jersey needs to change. But where we could make some changes, we're going to do so. I want to thank Amy. I want to thank Tracy. Amy from our Department of Health, Tracy from Construction Code. And I want to thank Tracy. She's not here, but from our legal department, we went back and forth. There are some things that I wanted in that I could not do so because it was in conflict with the law. And that is what it is. But it's not going to stop here. We're going to go to Trenton. We're going to advocate for a change in the law. So I'm going to I ask all my colleagues on council, please support Ordinance 7032 when it comes up on the agenda for introduction. And last but not least, this Saturday, school number 6 is having a PTA. This is a PTA, a Tricky Tray event. This event is going to be the golden star of Tricky Trays. Amazing prizes. Doors open at 12 noon. You enter to door 6. It's this Saturday, 12 o'clock. Please be there. I have taken up too much time. Thank you so much, everyone. There's a lot more issues. Oh, coffee with the councilman May 4th. I'll put it on my Facebook. Take care. Have a good night.
Thank you, Councilman Delgado. Okay. Councilman Strano.
Thank you, Council President. I've got the personnel report in front of me, and I'll read this and ask for a motion in a second. So, number 1 in the police department is approving the resignation of Lieutenant Matthew D'Amato effective March 23rd of 2026. B is approving the resignation of Joseph Santiago as special law enforcement officer effective April 2nd of 2026. C is approving the appointment of 4 of the 6 attached named as police recruits full-time at the salary of $46,887, effective June 1st of 2026, subject to the successful completion of the city's pre-employment requirements. And D is approving the appointment of 2 public safety communicator trainees full-time at the salary of $45,000, subject to the successful completion of the city's pre-employment requires per the attached list. 2 in the Finance Department, approving the change in hours for Isabella Gonzalez, Clerk 1, not to exceed 35 hours per week for the period of May 7th of 2026 through September 1st of 2026 at no change in the rate of pay. And number 3, Community Services, Department of Community Services, Public Works Division. A, approving the resignation of Julian Reynolds, a laborer, effective March 16th of 2026. B, is approving the seasonal list that's on file in the clerk's office. 4, in the Recreation Department, approving the seasonal list that's on the file in the clerk's office. 5, in the Office of the Mayor, approving the appointment of Veronica McLaughlin, Clerk 1, full-time at the salary of $50,000, effective April 27, 2026, and that's subject to the successful completion of all city pre-employment requirements. 6, in the Law Department, approving Alyssa Sassarak, a student intern at the rate of $16.13 per hour, not to exceed 37.5 hours per week from May 10, 2026 through August 31st of 2026. And 7, the Office of the Clerk, approving the resignation of Athena Robinson, Clerk 1, effective March 27th of 2026. 8, in the Personnel Department, approving the FMLA and the NJFLA leaves that are on file in the Division of Personnel. I move for approval and request a second.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Gavik?
Yes.
Caldwell? Yes. Mohammed? Lott?
Yes.
Delgado?
Yes.
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemekaitis?
Yes.
Okay, continuing on, this is my council report. This past Friday, we had the Blue Acres properties cleanup and restoration. We had 40 volunteers show up from Groundworks Elizabeth, Infinium, Phillips 66, Sunoco, Conserve Wildlife, and Bud's Packaging. Infinium and P66 provided breakfast and refreshments, and as well as lunch. We planted 60 trees in that property, and it was really impressive because they were pretty much done by lunchtime. It was just impressive. Those properties are the restored areas where flooding had occurred, and the Blue Acres I guess it's a project from the New Jersey Division of Environmental Protection had bought out those properties where those homes were, and we're in the process of restoring back to what nature had at one time. And it's 8 years now, I think, that we're working on this, along with the rain gardens, and it's pretty impressive. It's some of the pictures that, and I have to mention our city departments, Public Works, Public Properties, and Engineering provided a substantial amount of help as well. And I just got to shout out to Joe Kroback, our senior engineer, because he pretty much heads up this project for the city of Linden. And I really have to say that we're fortunate to have people like that working here in the city. On another note, I had a request from a constituent to kind of remind our residents to be a little more responsible when we're putting out our recyclables, mainly when you overstuff a container with newspaper or cardboard, and the container is open and it's a windy day, people leave for work, they forget about it, and it winds up all over your neighbor's properties, and it's not really fair to your neighbors that have to go out and clean up not only their property, but it's your trash. And it's also not the responsibility of our city workers who have a whole city that they have to collect. Can you imagine if they have to be chasing down trash that's blown all over the neighborhood? And on that note too, as well, when you're, the street sweepers aren't designed to be picking up cardboard and paper that's blown all over the streets. That's not what they're made for. The other issue is like people put out, you have to think a little bit responsible. If you have 4 items in your recyclables, you're commingled, maybe wait a week before you put it out. It's really not fair to the city because there's labor involved every time a can has to be picked up when it's only got a few items in it. Those items can certainly wait, for another week or 2 before they get picked up. Also, what else do I have here? I think that's about it. We're just about done with the Department of Community Services. If you have a few more potholes that haven't been taken care of, please go to our website. There's a portal there for some that we may have missed. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilman Strato. Councilman Armstead.
Yeah, thank you, Council President. First, I'm going to start off with our, we're celebrating our Heritage Month, Linden flag raising, blessing on my block, Saturday, May 9th, from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. That is going to be the banners and flag poles and the decorations on May 1st and May 18th. We're having a senior luncheon, and that is going to be at 330 Helen Street, JTG. May 9th, raising and celebration day at Linden City Hall at the Raymond Bauer Promenade. I don't know, promenade, however you say it. Senior breakfast, Linden Multipurpose Center, 1025 John Street. That's going to be on May 23rd. Now, on May 16th, we're having Kids the Park Day. So I'm asking all of the parents out there to bring your kids out to the park. I know when we was coming up and there wasn't no school, every day was Kids to the Park Day. Your mother and father say, get out and go to the park. I mean, it's a little bit different now. You have to bring your kids to the park. You have to keep an eye on them. But we would appreciate it if you brought your kids out there. And we're looking at kids from pre-K to 8th grade on that day. And it's going to be from 12 to 4. Okay, and also we have April 29th. We're having Senior Citizen Safety Presentation hosted by Easy Ride. Okay, we invite you to take part in the 40-minute interactive presentation being hosted by Easy Ride. This presentation is geared towards our senior citizens community. Easy Ride will be providing pedestrian and driving safety tips to maintain independent living. Once again, that is on April the 29th at the JTG Center, time from 10 a.m. to 11. To attend, please sign up at the front desk. Okay, as far as 8th Ward is concerned, we had 3 trees taken out on Garfield Street. The trees were growing and they were moving the sidewalk. The roots were lifting the sidewalk, so we had those trees cut out and taken out. And I'd like to thank Joe Krobeck for doing that for us. And before I go on any further, I also want to thank Sandy Jackson and Keith Pressey. You guys make this job as the chair for recreation so easy for me, you know, and I really appreciate the hard work that you guys do. You guys do outstanding work for the city here. Okay. Also, curb your dog signs were put on Dill Avenue, and there was also one put on Blanky Street. We're asking you people to walk your dogs. Please clean up after your dogs. Nobody wants to walk down the street and step in your dog's mess. That's why we have your curb your dog signs, and we really need you to help that. As well as several potholes that have been filled throughout the 8th Ward. Now, if anybody has any problems with anything, you can contact me at marmstead@lindennewjersey.gov, or you can call me at area code 908-463-8986. I prefer you call because I like to hear what my people have to say. And there's not one person that can say that I have not returned their call or did not pick up their phone. I pick up everybody's phone call. Okay, I just want to be real quick and real brief, and I'm going to be finished. I just wanted to say about this. I've been seeing some things, actually not on social media, but coming directly to my telephone. I don't have a problem with people calling me, but I've been getting some things from other people, and I'd like to thank Councilwoman Orman, and I also like to thank Councilwoman Lott. We do get sick. I was very, very sick at one time, not knowing whether I was going to live or die. I was going in and out of the hospital, and for somebody to attack me because I wasn't here, it's not fair. We're human beings as well. One last thing I am going to say, I was not appointed to this position here. I ran against the mayor's ticket to get on this because I wanted to be a part of this team. The mayor had to support somebody else, and I understood. So I ran on my own to be a part of this team. And it's not about being a big I am. It's about helping the people in this community. And I'm going to say it one more time, please feel free to call me. My number is 908-463-8986. That concludes my report for today.
Thank you, Councilman. And Councilman Rodriguez?
Thank you, Council President. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to take a moment to thank our Mayor, Council President Joe Bodek, our Union County Commissioner, and our City Clerk for the help in getting the county out to trim the trees on Northwood Avenue. We appreciate the teamwork and the quick response to our residents' concern. I also want to remind our residents that Airbnb and short-term rentals are not allowed in our city. In addition, please continue to maintain your lawn and keep the property in good conditions. I encourage everyone to look out for one another and to keep an eye out for our children. It's getting dark later and our kids are going to be out in the park playing, riding their bikes, so just keep an eye on them for them. If anybody has any concerns or questions, please feel free to reach out at 908-858-0269 or email arodriguez@linden-nj.gov. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilman Rodriguez. Councilwoman Hudak.
So tomorrow, most of the 10th Ward will be having bulk trash pickup. That's just my reminder. On the agenda are continued upgrades for Alcala Park, and thank you to the residents who have all been impacted by the construction. I understand that construction is an inconvenience. To the residents of Kent Place, thank you for showing up. And because of all of you and all of the communication, you held us accountable, and the situation is now resolved. I'm still working with departments to hold other residents responsible for the quality of life issues regarding the alleged illegal car repair shops, the multiple renters in single-family homes, the excessive volume of music and noise. I've been communicating regarding surfacing of streets, fixing sidewalks, trimming trees. Now, by staying active and solution-focused, every step of the way got us to this point, and that's what truly matters. Results were delivered. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilwoman Hudak. Okay, I have a short report tonight also. I'll start off with the Mayor's Youth Commission. There's going to be a color run on Saturday, May 16th from 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. at Tiger Stadium. This will help fund the 2026 scholarships. Yes, graduation's right around the corner, so we need to help our graduates achieve their dreams. So please consider coming out and signing up. You'll see on social media, there's flyers out. Or you can contact the mayor's office and can get you in contact with the information for that. Okay, many of my colleagues were mentioning about the paving on Elizabeth Avenue. I just wanted to add to that. We were told last night Essex Avenue will be included with that, so that's a very important component. Essex Avenue is terrible. So we've received many complaints, so you will be including with that paving project. Okay, yes. Oh yes, also, the paving will be done at night, everyone, okay? Except for probably Essex, but the Elizabeth Avenue, it's a main thoroughfare through our city, so that paving will be done at night. Okay, Volkowski Park in the 8th Ward. The upgrade is commencing. We have summer camps coming. We have a special needs camp that also partakes in that park. So it's going to be an inclusive playground. And there were a lot of questions tonight regarding funding and bonding and capital projects. Mr. Pressey, he is very vigilant on going out and trying to get every grant available for the city of Linden. Okay, so our recreation department, he gave us this report this evening. The recreation department successfully secured $6,300,000 in funding for these transformative capital projects, primarily through grants and strategic capital budgeting. Only approximately, I'll repeat that again, only approximately 20% of the total will be covered by city taxes, minimizing the burden on local taxpayers. This fiscally responsible achievement is a testament to the administration's proactive strategy. As many of you know, it's so costly to take your family, your children. We have these ladies sitting here with child care facilities asking for assistance with the funding. Our playgrounds are also an integral part it's free. It's a free play area for our families to go get their children out. We're telling them get off those video games. So to me, this cost is needed. So we encourage you to use our parks. And last but not least, I want to bring up our Relay for Life this year. We would like to invite you to participate in the Relay for Life in Rollway Park on Saturday, June 13th. If you are unaware of what Relay for Life is, it is a movement in which supporters come together to advance the American Cancer Society's vision of ending cancer as we know it. Relay for Life celebrates survivors, honors caregivers, and remembers lost loved ones while raising funds to ensure that everyone has a chance to prevent, detect, treat, and survive cancer. This year's Relay celebrates 40 years of Relay for Life. The initiative for Linden was started by Chief Hart and Lieutenant Richmond and many of our police department. Many of us have joined in their efforts over the past few years. In an effort to get more people involved from Linden, we decided to collaborate with many of our city employees, residents, and anyone who is fighting or knows someone fighting this disease. Over the next few weeks, you will see ads and invites to join or donate to Team Linden. That's right, we have a Team Linden that's going to be walking in the Relay for Life. The goal of our team is to raise $2,500 for the American Cancer Society. And of course, we would be ecstatic to bypass that goal. If you would just like to donate, you can go to the website for Relay for Life Rollway and search for Team Linden. The website will walk you through the process. If you would also like to join us at Rollway Park, we would love for you to join us. You can contact me at 908-494-0880, and I will have more information on the programs and events of the day. I'm also going to be one of the team captains for that day. Okay, so thank you everyone. Relay for Life has made so many strides. 40 years ago, people would whisper the word cancer. They were afraid to even mention it, like it was contagious. But working with Relay for Life and raising these funds, so much research has been done, and so many people are survivors today. So we thank you in advance for any support you can give. Okay, we're going to now move on to resolutions for the evening.
Council President?
Yes.
A point of order, please. Can I just mention my yard sales? I forgot. 7th Ward will have a ward-wide yard sale. Our date is May 16th, and the rain date's the following day on the 17th. Thank you.
Yes, many of the wards are also, every ward up here is doing yard sales, so we're going to see if we can get a citywide flyer with these dates put on it, that everybody can access it and have it little hub on the city website that they can see this. So we'll work with that, okay? All right. Now
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now moving on to our resolutions. Okay, this evening we have resolutions number 2026-178 through 2026-232. Can we have a motion, please?
I move for the approval of resolutions 2026-178 through 2026-232 and ask for a second.
Second.
Mrs. Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell? Yes. Mohammed?
Yes.
Blott?
Yes.
Delgado?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemekaitis?
Yes. Okay, we'll now move on to ordinances on first reading. Okay, just a reminder before we start, if there's anybody in the room that would like to speak during the public comment portion, there's a white sheet in the front of the room, please sign in. Okay, we're going to begin this evening with ordinance 7028.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 31 zoning of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance adopting and enacting the revised general ordinances of the City of Linden, 1999. Passed November 23rd, 1999, and approved November 24th, 1999, and as amended and supplemented. Be it ordained by the Council of the City of Linden, Section 1, that Chapter 31 zoning shall be and the same is hereby amended as follows. Delete 31-40.1 penalties for violations in its entirety. Add new Section 31-40.1 penalties for violations.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction, please?
Council President, I move for introduction of ordinance number 7028 and request a second.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Lot?
Yes.
Delgado?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 7029, please.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 31 zoning of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance adopting and enacting the revised general ordinances of the City of Linden, 1999. Passed November 23rd, 1999, and approved November 24th, 1999, and as amended and supplemented. Be it ordained by the Council of the City of Linden, Section 1, that Chapter 31 zoning shall be and the same is hereby amended as follows. Delete 31-49 short-term rentals in its entirety. Add new Section 31-49 regulating the short-term rentals and the letting of any residential premises or parts thereof except certain licensed hotels or motels as follows.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction of ordinance 7029, please?
Council President, I move for introduction of ordinance number 70-29 and request a second.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Lot?
Yes.
Delgado?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 7030, please.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 31 zoning of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance adopting and enacting the revised general ordinances of the City of Linden, 1999. Passed November 23rd, 1999, and approved November 24th, 1999, and as amended and supplemented. Be it ordained by the Council of the City of Linden, Section 1, that Chapter 31 zoning shall be and the same is hereby amended as follows. Delete 31-20.19 off-street parking in its entirety. Add new Section 31-20.19 off-street parking.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction of ordinance 7030, please?
Council President, I move for introduction of ordinance number 7030 and request a second.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Lot?
Yes.
Delgado?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 7031.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 31 zoning of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance adopting and enacting the revised general ordinances of the City of Linden, 1999. Passed November 23rd, 1999, and approved November 24th, 1999, and as amended and supplemented. Be it ordained by the Council of the City of Linden, Section 1, that Chapter 31 zoning shall be and the same is hereby amended as follows. Delete 31-5.1 fees for zoning permits in its entirety. Add new Section 31-5.1 fees for zoning permits as follows.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction of ordinance 7031, please?
Council President, I move for introduction of ordinance number 70-31 and request a second.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Lot?
Yes.
Delgado?
Definitely.
Strano?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 7032, please.
An ordinance authorizing the amendment to Chapter 5 of the City of Linden's ordinance Dogs. Whereas the City of Linden adopted and enacted an ordinance creating a section known as Dogs, which addresses the requirements of dog ownership and the health and safety of the citizens related thereto. And whereas the city is dedicated to ensuring the safety of its citizens by requiring better oversight of dogs before they become a threat or danger to the citizens. And whereas, after thoughtful consideration and review of the existing ordinance and relevant statutes, the following amendments are set forth for adoption. Now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the City of Linden, Section 1, Chapter 5-1.9, entitled Dogs Running at Large Prohibited, Leash Required, shall be amended to read as follows. 5-1.9, Dogs Running at Large Prohibited, Leash Required, and Secured Premises.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction of ordinance 7032, please?
Council President, I move for introduction of ordinance number 70-32 and request a second.
This is just the first step, and I proudly second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Lot?
Yes.
Delgado?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 7033, please.
Bond ordinance providing an appropriation of $1,320,000 for multi-park playground improvements for the Division of Parks and Recreation for and by the City of Linden in the County of Union, and authorizing the issuance of $1,254,000 in bonds or notes of the city for financing part of the appropriation.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction of ordinance 7033, please?
Yes, Council President, I'd like to make a motion for the introduction of ordinance 7033 and ask for a second.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Lot?
Yes.
Delgado?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 7034, please.
Bond ordinance providing an appropriation of $66,000 for the acquisition of asphalt hot patcher dump trailer for the Division of Public Works for and by the City of Linden in the County of Union, New Jersey, and authorizing the issuance of $62,700 in bonds or notes for financing part of the appropriation.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction of ordinance 7034, please?
Yes, Council President, I move ordinance 7034 for introduction and request a second.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Lot?
Yes.
Delgado?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 7035, please.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 7 Traffic of an ordinance entitled, "An Ordinance Adopting and Enacting the Revised General Ordinances of the City of Linden 1999," passed November 23, 1999, and approved November 24, 1999, and as amended and supplemented. Section 1, Chapter 7 Traffic shall be, and the same is hereby amended as follows: 7-15 parking by permit only in designated residential areas, 7-15.7 residential overnight parking permit, delete 7-15.7C1 North Park Avenue area, add 7-15.7C North Park area.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction of ordinance 7035, please?
Council President, I make a motion to introduce ordinance 70-35 and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Lot?
Yes.
Delgado?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 7036, please.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 7 Traffic of an ordinance entitled, "An Ordinance Adopting and Enacting the Revised General Ordinances of the City of Linden 1999," passed November 23, 1999, and approved November 24, 1999, and as amended and supplemented. Be it ordained by the Council of the City of Linden that Section 1, Chapter 7 Traffic, Section 7-10, parking prohibited at all times on certain streets shall be, and the same is hereby amended as follows. Add Deerfield Terrace, east side, from a point 262 feet southerly from Exeter Road, extending 10 feet therefrom.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction of ordinance 7036, please?
Council President, I make a motion to introduce ordinance 7036 and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Lot?
Yes.
Delgado?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 7037, please.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 7 Traffic of an ordinance entitled, "An Ordinance Adopting and Enacting the Revised General Ordinances of the City of Linden 1999," passed November 23, 1999, and approved November 24, 1999, and as amended and supplemented. Be it ordained by the Council of the City of Linden, Section 1, that Chapter 7 Traffic, Section 7-24, turns prohibited shall be, and the same is hereby amended as follows. Add West Curtis Street, no left turn onto Keith Street.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction of ordinance 7037, please?
Council President, I make a motion that we introduce ordinance 7037 and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Ormond?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Lot?
Yes.
Delgado?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 7038, please.
An ordinance to amend and supplement Chapter 7 Traffic of an ordinance entitled, an ordinance adopting and enacting the revised general ordinances of the City of Linden, 1999, passed November 23rd, 1999, and approved November 24th, 1999, and as amended and supplemented. Be it ordained by the Council of the City of Linden that Chapter 7 Traffic shall be, and the same is hereby amended as follows. 7-33 handicap parking regulations, 7-33.1A handicap parking on street. Remove 916 West Henry Street 1 space, add 434 Brook Street 1 space, 305 West Elm Street 1 space, 1301 East Henry Street 1 space, 916 West Henry Street 1 space, 503 Rosewood Terrace 1 space, and 1510 Winans Avenue 1 space.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction, please?
Council President, I make a motion that we introduce ordinance 70-38 and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Mormon?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Lot?
Yes.
Delgado?
Yes.
Strato?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Ordinance 7039, please.
An ordinance creating a new chapter entitled Fire Damaged Structures. Whereas the City Council finds that fire damaged structures pose a threat to public health, safety, and welfare. Whereas such structures create risks including structural instability, unauthorized entry, fire hazards, and blight. Whereas the city is authorized pursuant to NJSA 40:48-2 and enforces the Uniform Fire Code and Uniform Construction Code. Now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the City of Linden, Section 1, there shall be a new chapter created entitled Fire Damaged Structures as follows, Chapter 14B, Fire Damaged Structures.
Okay, can we have a motion for introduction of ordinance 7039, please?
Council President, I move for introduction of ordinance number 70-39 and request a second.
Second.
Mormon?
Yes.
Javik?
Yes.
Caldwell?
Yes.
Mohammed?
Yes.
Lot?
Yes.
Delgado?
Yes.
Strano?
Yes.
Armstead?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
Hudak?
Yes.
Mrs. Yemakaitis?
Yes. Okay, we're going to now move on to comments from members of the public in attendance. Okay, every speaker will have 3 minutes, and this is the comment section of our meeting. I'm going to start with Leanna Roldan.
Good evening. Good evening. My name is Leanna Roldan. I'm an assistant director at A Touch of Heaven Childcare in Linden. I'm here tonight because the families and childcare educators in Linden are struggling. Last year, the state stopped accepting new applications for the Childcare Assistance Program. The cost of living is rising in society: gas, rent, utilities, food, and every other expenses. The last thing parents need to be worried about is their children and how they will be able to afford childcare for them. They have to decide between working or staying home because expenses are so high. Yet salaries remain the same, and that is our reality right now. When there's not enough funding for childcare, it hurts everyone. Centers like mine, families, children. I have seen parents come into our center, love it, and want to sign up, but they cannot afford it. Some parents who got rejected by forces and couldn't afford to pay never came back. In some cases, some parents have no one to help them. This is a loss for both parents and children. Children need daycare to develop and prepare them for the next chapter in their education. We try our best to accommodate parents with low tuition courses, sibling discounts, and sometimes even waiving registration fees for those who cannot get into the program. Now Forces has parents paying co-payments, and some parents struggle to pay it and end up owing us. In some cases, we have no choice but to waive it, which affects us. We have not raised tuition in 2 years just to make it easy for parents to afford it. And due to our ratio, at times we are forced to send teachers home on days that we are slow. We have lost good teachers because of this. And we also could not give teachers raises this year because we couldn't afford it. We are with the program New Jersey Grow, and they have been helping us with what they can. I saw in the news about 2 weeks ago the CCAP has just reopened fully, but for how long? Since they closed it off last August, there have been many confusing announcements about the status of childcare assistance. This is unsustainable. We need a program that remains fully open for years to come and to expand the qualifications amount. Many families are struggling with expenses and really need the assistance, but are not able to qualify right now because the income limit is far too low. Some parents complain they can't even work overtime. If their income goes over, they lose the program. And more needs to be done to show these families we care about them and understand their situation. That's why we are asking you, as our representative in Linden, to stand up and support our families by passing the resolution 2026-198, calling on our legislator to fully fund child care assistance in this year's budget and in the years to come. And I thank you, Dr. Lott and Council.
Thank you, ma'am. John Kazor?
Good evening, John Kazor, Linden. I didn't prepare anything, so I just go off what you guys were talking tonight. Councilman Armstead, you say you weren't backed by your brother. We know that's not true. Publicly, maybe not, but he backstabbed Blaine just like he backstabbed Rivas for Lott, and he'll backstab any of you if you step off the script. Congrats to the 30-year recipients. I know a lot of you personally. Congratulations, Mr. Bodek, on 30 years. I hope it doesn't take another 30 from my Oprah request. Autism Awareness Month. I live with a little autistic girl, little Ari. She's beautiful. I learned so much about it, learned so much about myself. She falls under the umbrella. She has a gene mutation, PSMC5, which is super, super rare that it doesn't even have a name. It's just, it's that. And within that, she literally is one of one. There's so many letters, I can't even get into it, but she's the only girl in the world found with it. You have more chance of getting struck by lightning twice. But Linden has some great things. She plays with your kids at the special needs soccer. Illegal rentals. Oh, man, you brought it up. It's crazy. In Jackson, New Jersey, my counterpart down there, Chris Pollack, the residents were actually smart enough and elected him for councilman. He speaks a lot about this, and I don't want mandatory registration. What is that going to do? We need door knocking. We need mandatory inspections. Okay. Actually, I just taught Ari how to say Sunnyside is cooked, because it is. I drive through there, and it is so sad what's going on in Sunnyside. I'll do it for free. I'll go right now. Let's start right now. You could go. It's not hard to tell which houses are being illegally rented. You don't need to be a detective. Okay, you could go by somebody's houses. They don't have keys. They have punch pads for codes. Sunnyside was always owner occupied, and it's not anymore. You talked about services being up. I don't know. Is it going to be bulk trash day tomorrow, or is it going to be bulk trash days like it was last week in 9th Ward? OT's being cut, and DPW workers are texting me to complain like I can do anything. The West Stimson business, that's a unique property. I saw that they were on the zoning thing there. When I was a kid, that was a Rolls Royce garage. Is it commercial? Is it residential? It has the ability to be a commercial business there, but if they're not doing it right, then that's good. The one on Liberty that's shut down, yeah, these businesses, they can't be operating in residential areas, and it's a new Linden, and we need to crack down on some of this because these are quality of life issues that affect us all, and I'd like to see more of that done. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Pat Hero?
Pat Hero, I still live in Linden. I'd like to, first of all, I'd like to address Autism Awareness Month. I believe this is the ribbon for autism awareness.
Yes, it is.
As they say, if you've met one person with autism, you've met one person with autism. It is a spectrum. It is a varied condition. And the fact is that too many situations, we're putting the burden on the people with autism to adapt to being neurotypical, where in reality, we should understand that people with autism cannot adapt to being neurotypical. They are neurodivergent, and we should learn to appreciate and understand what neurodivergence means. For example, you call someone with autism, well, they have a special interest. Well, you know what? If you're neurotypical, that seems pretty insulting to say special interest. Neurotypical, we just call them hobbies. So why are we disparaging people with autism? I think it's up to us, or people who are neurotypical, to learn more about what autism is and how people with autism sometimes behave. If you see a kid screaming his head off, maybe it's because he's sensory overload. Think of the sound that you hate most of all, and have it magnified 1,000 times. Now you understand what someone with autism may be experiencing. So I've put a little bit more time into that, but I also wish we could put more time into resolutions. At one point, we could actually talk about resolutions, but now, unfortunately, we cannot. So we cannot address the resolution 2026-194, which has real estate appraiser services related to condemnation actions. And when I see condemnation actions, you know what I think? Eminent domain abuse. We don't really call it that because it's really not acceptable, but that's what I think of when I see condemnation actions. So I would like that explained afterwards. And then the other one I'd like to have explained is Resolution 223, which gives a synthetic turf ball field and walking paths at one of my favorite named parks, Dorothy Ford Park, and an amount not to exceed $826,266. Now, living in the DC area for a time as I did, we learned that the players of a certain football team didn't really like synthetic turf. They actually like natural turf because they got injured more on synthetic turf. So why we're having synthetic turf, I don't know. And why we're spending $826,266, I'd like to know that because that seems an excessive amount of money, but I guess that's why that may be going up. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Ms. Hero. Okay, Virginia Malley.
Virginia Malik, Lenape Road. I've been a long-time Linden resident, and I have Linden and the residents in my best interest. I'm an engineer, a business owner, and also in corporate business for many years. So I have a keen eye to pick up things that are going awry in Linden. Linden residents, consider this is a wake-up call for you. You work hard to make money, to live here, and to raise your kids, and also to live in a clean community, a clean neighborhood. For 16 months, I've been talking to the city attorney, people on council about the misuse of DPW and also continued abuse of our garbage can policies, where it's 2 cans per single-family home. I've gotten pushback on this. Well, DPW has been picking up tons of garbage from a single home on the 300 block area of Princeton Road. At least 7 garbage cans usually show up weekly, plus boxes of paper. The house is small, single family, and I've been told inspectors have come down there and have looked at what's in the garbage, all legal. But also I noticed that at night there is Mr. Tesla coming in, a white Tesla, with bags of garbage and boxes in his car in the morning, and then I see this at nighttime. Also, I found out that this house at 300 block Princeton is running a business. What is this neighborhood doing running a business? Food, supposedly cooking for the Hasidic families in the area. Is this where all the trash is coming from? I'd like to know and hope other city residents are interested in finding out how they have a business there. Think about the potential financial drain on the city and what shortfall is being made up by the residents. During budget time, everyone's scrambling to balance the budget. We only tap into money in Linden, but I found out that the county has financial resources for individual that they can tap into to help defray their cost. All right. So I think this is called Section 8. I can't find out more about this because it's county and not city. An opportunity someone has to ask themselves is this a opportunity of county benefits? I assume not just for subsidies, but also you have to ask yourself about owners, the landlords, people, do they have to pay or do they wind up paying reduced taxes because of these subsidies, these Section 8s? Well, a few years ago, I got in tune with this about someone on Stockton Road saying there's a Section 8 house on their property. Nothing was ever said about this because the county does this. Well, I'm getting sick and tired of having houses being bought, rented out to not multi-general houses, but by people that are boarding houses. And someone was talking about car shops. Well, that's also in my neighborhood, but that's been closed down, maybe thanks to Christine and public department. All I can say is I am disgusted with blatant misuse and sidestepping of rules, regulations, and personal advantage. Anyhow, this is a city in New York, and it has 40% people on welfare. Look it up and see what they're doing there. And people in New Jersey, this is what some of your neighborhoods are turning into. Kiris, Joel, look it up. It's on YouTube. Thank you very much.
Okay, Tim DeMondi.
Tim DeMondi, West Price Street. Real quick, Mr. Javik, the crosswalk signs at Price and Wood, they've been out for over a year. I've called DPW, I've called the City Hall, I spoke to the mayor face to face. Nothing's ever getting done. Over a year they're out. Okay? I want to talk to everybody about data centers. There's rumors that the airport is going to be sold and they're going to put a data center there. If they build a data center in Linden, the quality of life is going, excuse my language, in a shitter. Because that data center is going to suck up the life out of this city. It's going to suck up all the water. It's going to suck up all our electricity. We will have continuous blackouts. And the noise that them things make, anybody that lives on Smith Street will have to move. It will render your properties worthless over there. We can't let this happen. They got a data center going into Kenilworth. That's going to have an effect on us. The electricity, the water, it's going to roll this way too. We can't let this happen. We got to stop it. Can't let them sell that airport off to a data center. That's all I got to say.
Okay. Angela Alvey Winbush.
Good evening. My name is Angela Alvey Winbush, Director CEO of Alvey's Education of the End Programs Child Care Center, located in Linden. First, I want to say thank you, President, Mayor, and Council, for passing the 2026-198 resolution to support the full expansion funding of the New Jersey Child Care Assistance Program. I can't tell you how important the 4Cs program is in our child care system. I've been at 1309 Lincoln for 11 years, and my capacity is 78 kids. I'm getting ready for a vigorous summer camp program. We service special at-needs kids, nonverbal autistic. We service all the children in the community of Linden. However, I noticed that since the CCAP program has ceased, I've lost about half of my kids already. About 48 kids are gone. So the maintenance of the child care center is at risk. The parents are struggling. They do not have, enough money to pay for their childcare. I'm open from 7 in the morning till 7 at night. I have brought my prices down to a minimum just to try to help the parents out, because this 4C's CCAP program was really essential to help the parents pay their childcare costs. Now, as was mentioned before, most of the parents have co-pays, and I've never seen it like that in years. Like, all of my parents have co-pays starting January. And I looked, and the co-pays may be small, but the parents were not expecting that. And I just noticed that a lot of the parents are pulling out and choosing to stay home, losing out on their jobs, staying home with their children, and they're suffering. They're suffering, we're suffering, and all I can say is I thank you for supporting, the CCAP program, and that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for that. Have a good night.
Thank you. Okay, Carlos Rivas.
Good evening, Carlos Rivas, Linden, New Jersey. Once again, I would like to start clearly to say to the citizens of Linden, the pattern of a council has shown deserves explanations. Over the past few months, this council has approved a series of resolutions and ordinances borrowing money, retroactive contracts, increasing penalties, stricting zoning rules, and additional requirements on residents. These are not as isolated decisions. Together, they form a direction. And now we're approaching a budget presentation where residents are expected to see no increase. So the question becomes, what's the real financial picture of the city? We heard that they want to give us money, but we also understand that if we don't have the sources how to pay it, then we can become bankrupt. Because the reason that I said this is where we stand, it appears that the months leading up to this budget, the city has taken additional debt and financial commitments while structuring decisions in a way that allow us for us to appear that the budget is stable. In that case, what is being presented to us is not the full reality. It's only a temporary picture that does not reflect the long-term obligation that we are getting into. And we will see that in the years to come. Believe me, we will see it. The residents deserve transparency, members of the council, not just a presentation and not just nice few words to say that we are in a good financial situation. But this is not only the administration. I have come here month after month saying that this is responsibility of the council. You are the governing body that approved these ordinances and resolutions, and with that comes the obligation to fully understand what is being passed, but not just the effects on your own because that affects your own constituents at their daily life. It's not just easy to say we're going to give titles. It's not just easy to say this is by law. It is important to be transparent to our citizens and said what these ordinances really are. We're introducing an ordinance that is going to fine residents from $500 to $5,000 per day on restrictions on how they use their own property. New liabilities. Where is this ordinance are driven to affect? What are the communities that are going to affect and who's going to be picked on? These major measurements are being perceived as not a support for residents, but as a tool that they can be used against them. It looks like that the city wants to show that they have power over authority. We cannot ignore that. We are in an election year, and these things doesn't happen just from one day to another. This is not about politics. This is about accountability. Residents should feel that they should feel that they're well being managed, and they're being represented. As of right now, they're not represented. I don't feel they're represented. And we have people that are being appointed.
Sir,
and they're still working today representing the city. Thank you.
Okay. Valerie Chichetti?
My first time at the podium, so excuse
Okay.
me. My name is Valerie Cicchetti, and I live in Second Ward. Been there for years. I wasn't planning on speaking, but I was here for the proclamation for my daughter who works as a telecommuter. Oh, short or lower this because I'm so short? Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. Again, I live in the second ward. Wasn't planning to say anything today. However, everybody very happy to hear that the community yard sales are happening. I wasn't sure of the dates. But since we all know about the dates for our ward, I'm kind of speaking as like a renter only because a lot of the landlords here don't exactly want all the attention on their property. Some of us don't have driveways, so we're on their lawns. I know a lot of landlords that take very good pride in their property, so they don't appreciate all that stuff on their land property. So I'm just suggesting, I love Noski Park. I love the big playground. I love the blacktop, and all these wards have city parks, within their ward, 1 or 2, sometimes more than that. So I'm only recommending for renters who can't take advantage of what the city is offering by waiving those fees to offer up the park, block off spaces, sign up, first come, first serve, give them a number of a space so that we can too also sell. Because if some of us can't sell on the property that we live. That's all. So I don't know how this process is. I'm saying all this, so how do I get an answer to this? I don't know what that means, how that goes. Are you going to tell me? Should I email you? Should I call you? After. Got it.
We'll discuss it, okay?
Perfect. Thank you.
We'll let you know. Thank you, Valerie. Okay, can we have a motion to close the public comment portion of the meeting?
Council President, I move we close the public portion of the meeting and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Before we close for this evening, there's one other thing from Recreation that's very important that we bring up. Our summer camp program they're taking registrations. There's going to be camps, kitty camp in School 4, Alcala, School 10, McGilvery Park Day Camp, Trembley Day Camp, McManus Day Camp, and Wilson Day Camp. Registration ends May 15, 2026, and you can call 908-474-8639 to register. There are payment plans available, and the summer camp includes indoor activities, weekly arts and crafts, weekly special appearances, 5 trips, and summer-ending craft and talent show. So, more information, the camps begin on June 29th and they end August 14th. So, any other information, please call Recreation. Okay, the next council meetings will be as follows. Council conference meeting Monday, May 18th at 6 p.m. in City Hall. Council conference meeting prior to the council meeting Tuesday, May 19th at 6 p.m. in City Hall. Council meeting Tuesday, May 19th at 7 p.m. in the council chambers, City Hall. These meetings will be held in person. Do we have a motion to adjourn, please?
Council President, I make a motion to adjourn and ask for a second, please.
Second.
I think we're a little anxious, yes.
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 Absolutely.
Yes.
That's a great idea, by the way. Thank you.